Hey guys, welcome back. This is gonna continue. This is a continuation of the tutorial. I screwed that up already. So this is, yeah, I'm not really sure what I should change. Last video got cut off a little bit because I was a bit too trigger happy with the recording button. So a major loss. My words were not very important though, so it's okay. All right, so we're approaching D9, and okay, so these enemies are yaks. They're pack enemies. You usually want to engage them not right next to each other. Oh man. Okay, so that deep elf did a lot of damage. Okay, I'm already forgetting kind of where we were at last time. Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than usual. No, actually it hasn't. I don't know. I'm just being bad, I guess. This is the tutorial. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing dumb. I'm gonna try really hard to go back to where I was before. I've kind of lost my place. So the last video covered a lot of positioning and tactics and stuff, and this will just continue on. The most important part about playing Crawl, I guess, is being consistent. So if you make a mistake, try to learn from it next time. So for example, instead of engaging enemies in a big pack like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and pull them back into a corridor. So this book I'm going to keep in my inventory just because, you know, as I showed earlier, it can be a conjure flame when you're in a pinch. So, yeah. Yep, and so Lair hasn't showed up yet. Lair comes between D8 and D11, and I'm going to be looking mostly for that. Erica is an enemy. Okay, so she has the ability to confuse and slow me, so I want to use my Trog's Hand to, you know, help me out with that. Yeah, so she goes from having a 56% chance to succeed to having a 4% chance to succeed. So the MR++ there is really helping me out. Alright, and I killed her. Good. Prince Rupert. This is an enemy that's really strong in the early game, but at this point in time, I think I should be strong enough to take him on. Again, I'm still going to lure him backwards a little bit, just so that, you know, there's not too much danger in the fight in case something really bad comes along. Ogres, same thing. I can kind of take them on now, so there's that. Okay, continuing on. Frog, that's good. Easy. So around this time is when you would start thinking about Lair, and Lair again is about Hydras. I'm berserking. Yep. Okay. So having Lair means having Hydras. It's always going to be they're a guaranteed, pretty much a guaranteed enemy. You'd find at least one, I'd say, in all of Lair. So I had to start thinking about it, and I have a weapon that is intrinsically going to cut heads off unless it's flaming, and I don't have a flaming one. So the way I tend to do this is I use Brothers in Arms, so I use Trog's abilities to carry me through this part of the game. Now, I notice now that I have a lot of un-ID'd scrolls, so I'm just going to start reading them at random. It's not a really big deal if I lose the scrolls. The scrolls are less important than the potions, I think. So, yeah, there are a couple of good ones, but, you know, what can you do? I'd rather use my identifier on something that might save my life. So in this shop we have a kind of interesting ring of obsession with resistance to electricity, cold, and negative energy. Those ones are not very useful. They're very niche, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. However, Cursed Ring of Poison Resistance looks much more appealing to me because, again, we're going to Lair. Lair is an area with a lot of poison, so, you know, it makes sense that we'd want to have resistance to poison. Yep, okay, good. I spoke last game about having alternate options, and this is the case. This is just like a good time to, I guess, display that. I'm gonna drop all these first. Drop the stones, drop the axes. I'm gonna switch to my blowgun. I'm gonna fire a couple of needles at it, and hopefully one will hit. Okay, good. Now I can back off. Now, as I'm backing off, I'm regenerating, and he's taking damage, so I can just infinitely back off. So ogres can be taken out that way. They're very easy because they don't dodge very well. I stepped in a teleport trap, so I'm going to lure it back into the corner, and I'm going to fight. This magic mapping has actually showed me where Lair is, which is quite nice. Fire Drake, that's okay. There's a wand of digging. Okay, that's good. Alright, these are all enemies that I can face over here. Just to minimize damage, I'm going to pull around the corner. That's going to limit the number of turns that the green guy, the orc priest, can smite me. It's just the little things, I guess. That it might have saved me maybe 20, 30 health. That's either way, it's a good amount of health. So yeah, just gonna keep going. And I've reached Lair. So I'm not really sure whether I want to finish this game or I just want to leave it as a point. I think it is. I think I might just go on more about how to win, I guess. So if you're new to Crawl and you haven't really gotten to Lair before, you wouldn't really know how to win. So the point of the game is to descend this dungeon until you get to the Orb of Zot. Until you get to the Realm of Zot. And once you get to the Realm of Zot, clarity's good, by the way. To get inside the Realm of Zot, you need at least 3 runes, and these runes are items that you can pick up in mini dungeons. You need at least 3 to enter Zot. Once you enter Zot, you need to go down to the deepest floor. You need to pick up the Orb of Zot, and you need to run all the way back up. So, yeah, like it's quite a long process, but it's not a. It's a pretty fun one, I guess. So this character has got no runes so far. I haven't gone to any rune branches. Two of the there's a pretty much strict guide, I guess, of which runes you're allowed to, what you should and should not take as your first 3. So in Lair there are 2. There are always at least there are always 2 that you take as your first 2, and there is a 3rd branch called Slime, the Pits of Slime, and that one has another rune, but it's a lot more dangerous than the other 2. So the 2 that we get are random. They can be chosen between the mini dungeons that contain runes are random. You can either have swamp or shoals, so the water branches in Lair, or you can have one or the other, and the second one will always be either snake or spider, so both poison branches. Oh, a runed executioner's axe. So Trog gifts weapons periodically. This is an anti-magic axe of +1. Right now it's not as good as I want it to be, so I'm just going to leave it on the floor. I won't really talk too much about the brand choice right now, because frankly chopping is as good as I need. I don't really need a better one. I'm not even sure if I should swap at all this game, just to prove that the game can be won without the best possible executioner's axe weapons. Yeah, but I haven't really decided yet. I'm not sure what this character is going to do. So I didn't really discuss that. Blink frogs do a lot of damage, and they tend to just be really nasty to fight. So you want to lure them into a corridor, but I didn't see any good corridors at a glance, so I just decided to fight. It was a bit silly because I dropped down to half health. Anyway, so I'm going to be looking pretty actively for these rune branches. The plan is to not go into them yet. I want to level up as much as possible with all the safe stuff before I head in. And there's a general order to this leveling. The order is usually dungeons. Once you get to Lair, you finish Lair, you go down to Orcish Mines, and Orcish Mines doesn't give you a lot. Okay, then you go down to the end of the dungeon, up to depths, and then you go take your runes. So I stopped because there's a Hydra in view. I'm going to use Trog's ability, Brother in Arms, to bring a couple of allies, and I'm going to let them kill it for me. I know it's a big waste of piety, but honestly, it's worth the hassle, because enemies here are very dangerous. Hydras are probably the most lethal enemy in Lair. They are very scary. And Trog piety really just recharges very quickly, so I'm not too worried about using it. Using Trog's piety is completely fine. Like, even if you go down to 4, who cares? You can still berserk, you can still regen, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's one of the biggest mistakes, I guess, new players make. They try to hoard their god piety. Maybe it's because they want to have more gifts, but it's not that important. Having better gifts is okay, I guess. Alright, so the thing that says you feel oppressive heat about you means that there's an entrance to a timed portal on this floor. I'm not too interested. I've never seen this before. Interesting. I'm kind of interested in getting there, but I'm not too rushed. Honestly, time portals, while they're cool and all, Hey, look, I found it. Never mind. While they're cool and all, there are... Oh, hang on, a Hydra. Can I summon a Doom? Yeah, thank you. I just need to pretty much let the Ogre fight the Hydra. There we go. Got it. Okay, so while it's really important, like a lot of people say that you gotta like rush to it. I don't really think that's the case. If your character, think about it this way: it's random chance whether you get it or not. If your character doesn't get it, does that mean you lose? No, it doesn't. You have a perfectly good chance of winning without it. It's just an extra bonus area, and it might give you some good resists. Who knows? Right now, I'm just getting robes and maces. I'm not using any of them. I might get something good. Who knows? Yeah, it's a cool place, but it's important to know that it's not incredibly mandatory. So look here, I got like a potion of might, a couple of potions of berserk and resistance, a scroll of amnesia which I'm never going to use, armor that I'm never going to use, a demon blade of flame that I won't use. Like none of this stuff I actually used. So there's no point in trying to rush a floor to try to clear it. Okay, I have no good options here other than digging, but I don't want to. You know, I can take them on without it. Here, though, I can kind of run backwards a little bit and get in a slightly better position where only 2 can hit me rather than 3. Anyway, like, my character didn't need to do Volcano, and a lot of people want to, like, you know, rush towards it, and it makes sense. Volcano is free experience. It's potential death, but it's free experience. It might give some useful resists, but at the end of the day, if your character isn't equipped to do it, or if you had to rush the whole level just to do it, and you like woke up everyone and they're all chasing you, like you have to question whether it's worth it. I guess it's at the end of the day, I can't really tell you exactly how to play because every game is different, and you know there are other players that win completely differently to me. They play different to me, but they still win. That's fine. But you know, if you have nothing better to take, I guess you should take my word for it. Like, I don't know if that's dumb. I don't know if that's like bit proud, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to help people out. Alright, so potions of agility has been identified. Agi potions are really good because they're defensive buffs. They give you dexterity and dodge. I don't think it adds really much to your damage, but it makes you more survivable, which is nice. Yeah, linking to that, I find it kind of funny that a lot of people, when they get into really dangerous situations, they use one consumable, just one. I haven't done that in ages. Unless it's a really not dangerous situation, but then I don't usually use consumables. If it's a dangerous situation and you're gonna die, throw everything you have. Just when you're bailing, bail for real. Like don't like half-heartedly like make a weak attempt to teleport, like, and then tank damage for like ages. It makes no sense. Like just you need to get out. Just don't try to like hold on to your stuff like a chump. You'll end up being dead. Yeah, and I might end up showing this later. Depends on how many suicidal situations I get myself into. Hopefully I can get into one without like me looking like an idiot, so I can at least you know, give an example. Though then again, most of my playthroughs involve me using a lot of stuff to get out. Sometimes to secure to teleport, I would even use like a blinking and a fog and a silence just to get out, you know? Like, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you want to save, you can save, but think about it this way, you know, your inventory goes away when you die. Even when you win, your inventory's gone. So you don't actually benefit from having this stuff in your inventory. They're meant to be used. They're called consumables. You consume them. Alright, so, Sonya, I accidentally messed up and I walked really close to her. She's wielding a blowgun. I don't know what she's got else. I'm gonna use my own blowgun and shoot stuff at her, and hopefully she doesn't kill me. So Sonya's a Spriggan, and the main reason why she's dangerous is because of her distortion weapon, which she has on her. So the best way to take care of her is use an ally that will soak up the hits of her distortion. You can poison her. You could also hit her with wands. She's very squishy. The only thing that she has going for her is pretty much her career needles, which are really important. I'll explain them to you after this, and her distortion blade. So distortion blades are really scary because they can send you to the abyss, and the abyss is an area where, you know, most characters wouldn't be prepared to take on at the level where you get involuntarily abyssed. So, you know, it's clearly not a good thing to have to be abyssed, but yeah, sometimes it happens. You just try to avoid it as much as possible. If it happens, it happens. You can escape from the abyss. It's somewhat difficult, but you know, again, it's all about using. Hey, look, I found the heal wounds. It's all about using the your consumables to get out. All right, so there's a potion of beneficial mutation. A lot of people will say don't drink this either because it could screw me over. If you watch my Vinestalker run, it screws me over really badly. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Let's quaff it. Why not? I have a beak now. It doesn't do anything really. It adds like maybe 1+ damage to every one of my attacks. Big deal. So Trog is gifting me some stuff I don't really need, so I'm not going to pick it up. Yeah. Don't feel obligated to... Oh, this is pretty scary. So Uruk throws javelins at you. That's pretty much his thing. All he does is he throws javelins, and then he gets in melee, and he's pretty weak. Again, you gotta take my words with a little bit of, I guess, caution. And the reason why is because, you know, I've been playing this game for a very long time. I've gotten used to handling every enemy like on reaction. Pretty much no thought process. I know the right answer. So to me, Uruk is not dangerous, but maybe to you, he is, right? So, okay. So the way I would treat it, if I didn't know who he was, or sorry, if I hadn't really seen him too much, I would treat him like a really strong centaur. That's probably the way I would treat it. If you can treat him like a centaur and make it so that he only melees you, you're actually in good shape. So yeah, these swamp worms, yeah, they're hurting me quite a bit. So I'm abusing the fact that they can't leave water to fight them when it's favorable for me. Okay, so this is the swamp. That means that there's going to be the swampy rune in this game, and the swampy rune is, the swamp is an area full of, you know, creatures, natural creatures like hydras, dragons, swamp dragons, the drakes, alligators, all that stuff, all that bad stuff. So there's a couple of considerations this character needs to make to adjust for swamp. This was a bad fight, but I had to fight it because there wasn't really, like, if you look back, there's not. I could go all the way back here, but yeah, I'm a bit lazy. I'm sorry. I'll try to play more optimally, but again, it takes a lot of effort for me to. I guess playing this tutorial has actually helped me out as well because it's made me notice how inconsistent I am. Okay, so these are death yaks. Death yaks are higher level versions of regular yaks, and they are very dangerous. I'm actually going to get into a corridor so that only one of them can fight me at a time, and I'm going to berserk. They don't look dangerous, but trust me, you do not want to see them when you are not a Minotaur Berserker and not Berserk. They do a lot of damage to you. I'm going to berserk this guy as well, in a 1v1. Okay, good. So berserking in a 1v1 is actually really safe. So unless you have like enemies that are near it, your berserk will probably not end before you kill them. Okay, so elephants are high damage enemies, but I'm tanky enough that I should kind of be able to handle it. So their main specialty is, I guess, trampling you back one step. So they push you back one square, and that often shoves you out of positions that you would like to be in. So for example, that little corridor there, this one, he was standing here, and he pushed me back here. And if he'd pushed me back one more time, then I could have been attacked from 2 angles, right? So yeah, having elephants, when you fight elephants, you usually want to get into kind of a hole, I guess, like here, and you just fight them like that, where you can't get pushed backwards or out of your position. Yeah, that's. So these are most of the enemies that you fight in Lair. They're not too dangerous, but you know, sometimes you just get shocked and you just get hit out of position. Suddenly like you're really scared and you're about to die. So you know, hopefully this is helpful. Okay, another Hydra. Again, I'm gonna brother in arm. It didn't work this time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start shooting my wands at him. 1 sec. Alright, sorry about that. A bit of a distraction. Didn't want to deal with it. I let it go. Alright, so there is a Hydra right next to me, and I don't like it. Let's get a ally, and let's kill it. Alright, good. So yeah, basically I'm going to be spamming Brothers in Arms to deal with Hydras, and I'm going to use whatever's left of him to kind of plug the hole in that area. Take care of all those enemies. I would be wield IDing these amulets, but I kind of don't want to get stuck with a Faith. Faith is really great with Trog, but you know, I might need some resistances. Actually, I should use it. Gourmand, that's fine. Gourmand's not that great. It just lets you engorge yourself on chunks, which is okay, I guess. But you know, it doesn't really matter. I might as well keep it on, I guess, just in case. Alright, so Trog gave me a glaive, I don't need it. Saying I don't need it to something is probably a pretty good idea. Alright, so Kirk. I'm gonna get into a fairly dangerous spot, but it's gonna let me kind of lure Kirk out. I can take care of the easy mobs and then kind of what do you call it? Take Kirk out alone. So yeah, enemies that come with packs you can kind of get rid of. I'm gonna enchant this battle axe of chopping to max. I'm gonna leave the armor unenchanted though, because they don't have any good brands. So the chopping axe is completely fine for killing everything in the 3-room game. So I won't really worry too much about getting a better weapon. If I do get a better weapon, I'll just switch out. No big deal. Alright, cool. So I have the spider. So before I said you can either get spider or snake, and you can either get swamp or shoals. So I got spider and swamp. And that's not too bad for me, I guess. This character can deal with all of them, except maybe shoals would be tough, I guess. Sheep, I'm just kind of not fighting too recklessly, but at this point they're not very difficult enemies, I guess. I'm just re-IDing my scrolls again. There's no potions left to do. I don't need this polymorph. Polymorph ones tend to be a bit suicidal. You don't want to use them too much. Let's see, what's that? Scroll of summoning, that's cool, I guess. At least I know what it is now. I'm going to move forward a little bit more. I'm going to try to make use of what consumables I waste. At least get a little bit of value out of them. It's not too big a deal, but yeah. Alright. Cool. Blink frogs. Okay, so this was the correct response to fighting blink frogs. You kind of get them into a corner where they can't see you, and then you fight them one by one. I took a lot less damage that time. Alright, so there's another Hydra, and I'm going to summon a Brothers in Arm, and I'm going to also shoot some lightning at it with my wand. So again, abusing Trog abilities, using a little bit of limited but not really useful stuff to get rid of Hydras. I haven't meleeed a single Hydra, and the reason why is because again, Hydra heads get cut off by non-fire edged weapons. Simple as that. I just don't want to fight them. I just don't. I don't spend a single turn in melee. I just sit here and I just let the D-Troll take care of it. Alright, so yeah, that's good. The D-Troll, unfortunately the D-Troll claws actually take off the... that's not helpful at all. Yeah. So the D-Troll claws actually take off heads, Hydra heads, so if you're a troll, you also take Hydra heads off. That's kind of scary, but, it's a Hydra. Sorry, it's a D-Troll. It'll kill it itself. I don't really need to worry about it. So this +5 ring of Dex is completely... It doesn't change my stats at all. And this is kind of the reason why, I say stats don't matter. I added 5 to my dexterity and nothing changed. So do you really need all that Dex? No, not really. Whatever you... stats don't really matter too much. They're okay, but they rarely do anything. I guess with more dodging I'd get a bit better. Alright. Having said that, I might actually go for a bit more dodging, but for now I just want to get my battle axe to minimum delay so it can't swing any quicker. That happens at skill level 20, so once that happens I will turn it off and I will switch it with dodging. And having armor and dodging will give you a very nice mix of stats. Again, it makes a lot of sense to people who haven't played this game, I guess, to only go armor if you're playing an armor guy. Why would you pick dodging, right? Your armor is preventing you from dodging too well. But no, it's a lot better to just have a mixture. So I'm identifying my Wands of Fire, and the reason why is because Wands of Fire do a lot of damage. It's simple as that. They just do a lot of damage, so they're a good resource to identify. I don't want to waste too many charges in case I need it. A free Bolt of Fire is nothing to scoff at. There's another ring here. Let's see what this is. I'm gonna get rid of that Dex. That's fine. Okay, I can get rid of it with Remove Curse. Yeah. So the Dex is what I wanted. Okay. So this Catoblepus, it is a ball that can shoot calcifying dust at you, and once it turns you to stone, it can start goring you. I want to fight it, and the second the calcifying dust hits, I want to move out of it, and then keep fighting it until it shoots again. It didn't? Okay, good. So never spend more than a turn. Oh, my bad. I accidentally backed myself into a corner there. Okay, so there's a Hydra in my view. I'm going to pull back a little bit towards the node. Yep. And once I'm at full health, I can start thinking about some actions. So I'm going to summon a Brother-in-Arm. Just going to see if it does any damage to it. Good. Oh, excellent. Okay, so the reason why the Ogre was able to hit the Hydra, even though the Hydra and the Ogre would normally be at 10 speed, is because, again, Berserk gives you movement speed, and that's good. So yeah, I could just kite it, kind of just walk back a little bit, let my Ogre get free hits on the Hydra. If the Hydra engaged the Ogre, I would just have to use wands to back up my Ogre. But other than that, yeah, not important. Alright, so again, I'm going to back off and keep backing off. Obviously, this gameplay gets really tedious sometimes, and you're playing if you're playing a Minotaur Berserker, you do have leeway to make a couple of tactical errors. That's what axes are for. So, for example, instead of going back here, I could just let these two come into this range, I guess, around me, and I could just fight them both at once. It's not a really big deal, but again, you don't want to make mistakes when you don't have to, right? I'm going to drop Throwing Net because it's a waste of a slot now. Wing of Wizardry is useless to me. I don't cast spells. I think I might get rid of the Stasis. I'll get rid of the Lignification and Ambrosia. Purple stuff is... it's pretty much like stuff that you pick up. They're kind of dangerous to yourself though, so you rarely use them. I usually don't pick them up at all, but Lignification is one of the few ones that I consider a good consumable, and only for the early game. Alright, so we're reaching Lair 8. We've been playing for about an hour and 11 minutes, so we're about maybe 20 minutes into the recording, maybe 30. So yeah, I'm just going to go through this again. So that Basilisk is hurting me, is potentially petrifying me. I don't want to... Okay, I'm petrified. I'm going to pull back a little bit. I'm stone. I'm made of stone, but that's okay. A Basilisk is only scary if there are enemies around it. Like, for example, if I were to be surrounded by these yaks and petrified, I would be in a bit of trouble because they would just have, about 10 free turns of hitting me. I think I may get a little bit of armor, but I don't think I do, actually. It just paralyzes me, and it sucks. So I'm going to pull back again. I'm going to keep pulling back. I'm losing a little bit of... The fact that I've lost health means that I should play a bit more carefully. If I don't lose at any health at all, well, the encounter's pretty easy. You don't have to worry too much. But if you lose some health, it's time to start thinking about your options. The second you drop down to half health, you should consider yourself dead. Even if it's, from the stupidest thing, and you should run away. So here is a good spot, right here. Nothing in Lair can really smite you, so having more than one enemy on the screen at a time is A-okay. The enemies can't fight me because unless it's through this little gap here, so I can just kind of sit here and pummel away at them and kill them all. Good. And every enemy I'm going to lure back here as well. The Torpor Snail should go first. Okay, so the Death Yak was able to hit me for quite a bit of damage, even through my heavy armor and stuff. So yeah, you can see that against a character that probably isn't as strong as this one, you would struggle a hell of a lot more. You would almost die to each Death Yak. It's very scary. I'm not sure if my other videos detail that, because I played pretty straightforward stuff. So yeah, Lair 8 is the bottom of Lair. Lair itself doesn't contain a rune, but Lair 8 gives you a number of vaults and stuff. Sorry, it has a kind of a boss ending fight. Not quite a boss fight, but there's an end particular place that has certain things. So this seems to be the poison one. It's full of snakes, ants, and spiders. Yeah, and it's not too hard, but it's always you should always be on your guard for just random damage spikes. You should never be tabbing and then looking away, I guess, is the moral of the story. You kind of want to just play the game play a bit seriously. Pay attention. If you're in trouble, like you should, it's kind of like having alarm bells in your setup in your head. When you hit certain health threshold, just start ringing those bells. All right, so what's this rune battle axe? It's a +4 chopping. I have a +9. I don't need it. I'm gonna set the book on fire, mostly because I have 1 book already in my inventory. I don't need 2. Any more would just take up slots. That's not. If you feel like it, I don't know. Just hold as many as you want. You won't really lose too much piety. It's actually good to keep them on because you can just burn them whenever you feel like it, and you still get piety for it. So yeah. But you know, I'm thinking a bit about my. Sorry, I'm thinking a little bit more about my inventory space, mostly because you know there's not a lot of building decisions. Once my axis hits 20, I'm just going to be training fighting, armor, and dodging for almost the rest of the game. I may split off to do something interesting later, but for now, this is completely fine. Alright. So, so that was the spider area. I think there's still a bit left in here, so I'm going to go back. And this part down here is a dragon swamp. So there's usually a fire, and I think more recently there can also be an ice one, I'm not sure. There's a dragon at the end. That's the main enemy, I guess, of Lair 8. So, yeah, I'm looking to skin that guy. So in this game, you can, if you kill a dragon, you can skin his corpse, and you could potentially create what's known as a dragon armor from that corpse, from the skin of the dragon. And the skin of the dragon, sorry, the dragon armor gives corresponding resistances to whatever dragon you killed. So a fire dragon, which is I don't know, fire dragon, makes sense. Oh, wonderful elements. So a fire dragon armor would give you resistance to fire greatly, right? But it would decrease your resistance to cold, so that's pretty bad. But if you can find a resistance to cold to cancel out the resistance deficit, you know, fire dragon armor is a very respectable armor. A lot of people consider it to be one of the best armors for a 3-rune game, and the reason why is because resistance to fire is really good. It's just really good. Again, this is kind of a noob tutorial, I guess, so I won't really discuss why it's good. You'll see it later, I guess. Yeah, so here I just took a ton of damage because I don't have resistance to fire. That fire drake usually doesn't do that much, but... Oh, I should... Okay, sorry. I'm going to explain what resistances do. So as you can see here, I have no resistances save for poison. So with the ones that have 3 potential bars to fill out, so resist fire, cold, and negative, each bar gives you diminishing returns of damage. So the first bar cuts 50% of fire-based damage down, so you only take half damage. I think the next one after that is like, it's 66, maybe? No, it might be 75. Look, actually, for some reason I can't, I had the number in my head, but then I can't remember it. Okay, so that's the fire dragon. It's a very tough enemy. So tough, in fact, that I'm going to use a resistance. So now I'm cutting down 50% of my fire damage. I'm going to summon a brother in arms, and then I'm going to go kill it. Okay, and I butchered its corpse, and there's actually a fire dragon hide right here, so that's pretty nice. I'm going to probably use that for this game. Yeah, so for medium players, I suggest not sticking to fire dragon armor so closely, but you know, for a bit more advanced players, you know, oh sorry, I got that the other way around. For new players, I suggest you stick with fire dragon armor if you can find it, because it's just a very good armor. It intrinsically gives you the resistances you want, the fire particularly. It gives you a good set of stats, basically. For more like advanced players who, you know, have won a couple of games, they've seen the game, they know what decisions to make, I suggest that you have a look outside of fire dragon armor. And the reason why is because, of course, it's a I guess not the best idea to hold on to all your enchantment scrolls in order to kind of keep your character like to the build that you're guessing, like that you're aiming for. So for example, if you say your Minotaur Berserker is going to have a fire dragon armor, an axe, and like a bunch of cool gear apart from that, right? He's going to have the fire dragon armor eventually, maybe. But in the meantime, before that Fire Dragon armor comes, what are you going to be wielding? Maybe a +0 plate mail of nothing. And if that +0 plate mail kills you, well, that's your fault for not having a +5 plate mail, for example. So yeah. So again, for noobs, for noobs, for new players, you know, stick to the Fire Dragon armor. It's a very good armor. It's very respectable. Just make sure you always have resist cold. For more experienced players, you know, don't fall under the trap of only using a Fire Dragon armor. You know, Fire Dragon armor is great and all, but it's not the most amazing thing. I'm going to use it here because, you know, I have kind of got a way to get the resistance to cold at the cost of, you know, an extra pip of resist fire. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. So I have enchanted all my scrolls into this Fire Dragon armor. I'm going to wield it now. I lost 1 point of armor, and I gained a couple of points. I gained 2 points of dodging, so that's pretty much worth it. I'm a little bit tankier than before. Let's see. So let's look at my resistances now. So I have resist fire ++, so I take greatly reduced damage from fire, and I have a negative resistance in cold, so I take more damage from cold. That's really dangerous. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the Ring of Ice on, and that's going to give me RF plus and no resist cold. So I've effectively cancelled out my weakness at the cost of some resistance to fire. That's fine though. I don't need more than 1 resistance to fire pip. So yeah, that's fine. I think that it's probably better to leave this video here. Mostly because, you know, I want to maybe shorten the videos for this tutorial a bit, make it a bit more digestible. I'm not sure if you guys think it's good that at this length, just let me know. If it's not, you know, again, let me know. I'll take a look. Alright, so see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with this character, and he will be doing the Orcish Mines next. I'll be doing it in the, I guess, the traditional route rather than my own. So, see you then.